So with so much quote-unquote parity in Madness in March, I'm here to help you win your office pool and make you not look like a fool. Whether you're taking participation in your office bracket or one of those challenges where you go against some of the biggest and best and brightest college basketball analysts with a chance to win big-time money, I'm here to help you. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. I divvied out the numbers. I got really geeky because I just wanted to see how maddening March was. And while there's been upsets in the first and second rounds, we've seen the Middle Tennessees like we talked about, the Florida Gulf Coast, Syracuse back when they were a 10 seed in 2016, UMBC busting many brackets, beating number 1 Virginia. Well, guess what? Number 1 Virginia the following year came back and won the championship. So, how maddening is March? Well, let's take a look. Since 1985, that's when the bracket expanded to 64 games. 22 out of the 35 winners have been number 1 seeds. So if you have a number 1 seed winning the whole bracket, you got a pretty good outcome there. You just got to pick the right number 1 seed. If you picked Virginia back in 2018 and they lost to UMBC, it wasn't a good year for your bracket. But you go back to the last 35 tournaments since 1985 when it expanded to 64 teams. 10 out of the last 13 winners have been number 1 seeds. 22 out of the last 35. You want to dig in deeper? 31 out of the 35 last winners have either been a 1 seed, a 2 seed, or a 3 seed. So forget your March Madness. Forget the upsets. Because the closer you get to the Elite Eight, the Final Four, the championship, you gotta go chalk. You just gotta pick the right chalk. Let's get into the Final Four because so much of your points rely right around the Elite Eight and advancing to the Final Four and then advancing to the championship and ultimately winning the big game. Out of 140 possible Final Four teams, 116 have been within the top 16 teams. So a 1 seed, a 2 seed, a 3 seed, or a 4 seed. 83% of the time in the Final Four, you are going to get a 1 seed, a 2 seed, a 3 seed, or a 4 seed. 57 times a number 1 seed has reached the Final Four. 29 times a number 2 seed has reached the Final Four. 17 times a number 3 seed has won the Final Four. I told you it was going to get geeky. And 13 times a number 4 seed has made the Final Four. So 83% of the time, 116 out of a possible 140 Final Four teams in the last 35 tournaments since 1985 have been in the top 4 seeds. So a 1, a 2, a 3, or a 4. So forget number 16 UMBC making a run. Forget your 15 seed making a run. Because when all is said and done, champions are either a 1 seed, a 2 seed, or a 3 seed. We talked about it. 31 out of the last 35 winners in the brackets have been a 1, a 2, or a 3. 10 out of the last 13 have been a number 1 seed to win the championship. 63% of the champions since 1985 have been a number 1 seed. And 89% of the champions have been either a 1, a 2, or a 3. I'm helping you fill out your bracket. I'm giving you the inside view, the numbers. The numbers don't lie. You just got to find the right ones. You got to find that right number 1 seed, that right number 2 seed, that right number 3 seed. I'm going to tell you this right now. A number 5 seed has never won a national championship. So while I don't know the matchups, while I don't know who's going to be a 1, a 2, a 3, or a 4, I can tell you right now, more likely than not, a 1 seed, a 2 seed, or a 3 seed is going to win a championship. A number 5 seed has never won a championship. The 4th seed, the 6th seed, the 7th seed, the 8th seed, all have won once. 9 and above have never won an NCAA championship. So when you're filling out your bracket, remind yourself, 116 out of the potential 140 Final Four teams, 83% have been a top 4 seed, a 1 seed, a 2 seed, a 3 seed, or a 4 seed. Only 7 times has a number 5 seed made it to the Final Four. Only 3 times a number 6 seed has made the Final Four. Same thing with the 7th seed, 3 times in 35 tries. Only 5 times has an 8 seed made the Final Four, and only 1 time has a 9th or 10th seed made the Final Four. And then your bracket busters, your March Madnessers, 4 times an 11th seed has made the Final Four. It is good to go chalk. They call it March Madness. But how maddening is March really? I'm giving you the inside scoop. 31 out of the last 35 winners have been a 1 seed, a 2 seed, or a 3 seed. 22 out of the 35 winners have been a 1 seed. 10 out of the last 13 winners have been a 1 seed. I'm giving you the analytics. But analytics isn't everything. You do need to do your homework and figure out which one of those 1, 2, or 3 seeds is going to be that one that wins the championship. The 89% of champs that have been a 1, a 2, or a 3 seed. It's up to you to figure that out. I'm just here to help you guide the way. I'm here to help you guide the way. So I may not know what selections of Sunday and what matchups are going to come out of today. But I'm helping you lead the way, because since 1985, when the bracket expanded to 64 teams, even though we call it March Madness, we should call it March Championship Chalk. Because when it comes down to the Final Four and ultimately the championship game and then the champions, 34 out of the 35 times we've had a NCAA bracket, there has been a number 1 seed that's made the championship game. So almost one number 1 seed has made the championship every single tournament. 34 out of 35 times. At least one 1 seed has made a title game. 22 of them won. 10 out of the last 13 number 1s. So don't get caught up in the March Madness. If you can survive the first and second round, when you get into the Sweet 16, the Elite Eights, the Final Fours, I'm telling you, remember this. And this is going to be available on the iHeartRadio app, right under Zach Harris Sports Podcast. So go back to this. Understand chalk rules.